Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you for the what's inside, the unboxing and review about the White Dwarf of December 2017 released by the Game Workshop. The White Dwarfs released in here in his slit bag that you can see here includes a gift that is these ones that are cards for different games, and I open it. You can see what there is inside. Here you can see a card that it's for Shakespeare, that it's yet in the base box of Shakespeare, but this it's with a different design, so a different image. Useful or not, it's up to you to decide if it's worth, but anyway it's good that there is, and it's a nice thing that there is inside. And here there are new rules for Blood Bowl, as you can see, and you can also use them to play effectively inside the game itself. And here there are cards that are for Warhammer Quest game, and so you have a lot of different cards that are with different new rules that, as it is written inside the White Dwarf itself, will have the releasing and new rules in the next White Dwarf itself written inside. So I think that it's quite interesting as gift, because it will propose adding to the game, so it will be having the White Dwarf working even more about the bind. So I think that it's interesting. So starting with this special cover, we can see that there are a lot of new issues inside, so we can start to see what is inside. Here we can see the theme about the White Dwarf. Here the introduction of the White Dwarf itself. Then we can continue on and see the contents that are inside the White Dwarf itself. So there are quite a lot of special things. What is special more about this White Dwarf? There are 4 different battle reports. So it's quite big as thing, because usually there is only one. So it's interesting that there is 4 battle reports, and it's published also here that there are. And here you can see what are the cards that I showed you before that are inside. So the description and the promise to have even more about the Warhammer Quest rules. And here you can see the Chapter Pro 2017 that has been released, and the review and first unboxing about it you can find here, because I yet realized it. So here you can see some note about what there is inside, so you can decide if it worth or not. But anyway, I have the video realized, so you can see also that to see if you want. And here it's what is going to be released this month about codexes, that are the Codex of Dark Angels and the Codex of Blood Angels. Sincerely, the Codex of Blood Angels soon I will have to, and I have, if I'm able, the next week the releasing of a video about the Codex, the unboxing and first foot about the Codex, and then maybe even a more detailed one about what are the real foot about the Codex of the Blood Angels itself. So I think that 1 or 2 videos that will be about this one. And here you can see also the data cards released about the Blood Angels and Dark Angels ones, so as usual. Here what is interesting in these boxes under here are the releasing also of dice about Dark Angels and Blood Angels. Sincerely, I've yet seen in photo the ones about the Blood Angels. Sincerely, I find them quite interesting, but I don't like them too much. Sincerely, I hoped they were better. But anyway, they are quite interesting, because instead of the numbers of the points that usually represent the numbers, there are the blood drops. So it's interesting anyway. You have to see if you are interested in these dice or not. But anyway, it can be a nice approach to the game. And here we can see the models releasing for the special model released for the releasing of the codexes. So the Dark Angel one and the Blood Angel one. Sincerely, the Dark Angel one I find that it's okay. The Blood Angel one I don't find it so good. Okay, it has a dynamic position, but I don't find it anyway quite good, because I think that a normal premise can anyway be put in such a position with a little effort. So for the price that it costs, I don't find it quite good, but anyway it's my taste. What I find instead quite interesting has been the release about the upgrades for the primary Space Marine, both for the Dark Angels and the Blood Angels. Sincerely, I find such thing quite interesting, cause improve a lot the options that you have, not cause what is inside, but these shoulder pads, cause I found them quite usually difficult to realize, quite good, so having them yet realized, they are quite good. For example, these ones, even if they are for the aggressor ones, I think they are perfect for the sergeants of the primaries. So anyway, I think that they are good to see. So these, they doesn't cost much, and moreover, if you are able to find also from your stores a little discount, they are really convenient to buy, because they are quite good and make you lose not such a lot of time to do. Obviously there are the guys, but for the ones that want to have a three-dimensional pad, they are quite good to have. And here we can see something that is quite interesting. There are yet being released these models. What different in this, it's the fact that these models are good because they are easy to build, so they are quite good to see. Sincerely, I've seen only this one, and I think that this one is good to have for the monetizing. These ones I've not seen yet the spruce about them, so I can't say if they are convenient or not. But if they are for the price, less pricing that the normal ones, I'd suggest you to have a try, because monetizing them can be a way to have an improving of the cost, so buying these can be really interesting. And if before we've seen about the Space Marine, here we have about the Chaos Space Marine easy building miniatures, with these that are similar to Terminator ones, and these that maybe it's the best to have this combination of easy to build that it's the vehicles about the Death Guard, cause I think that these ones they will be the less modified one, so having these costing less can be really interesting. And we can continue with the releasing of the special miniatures. And we have here something that is interesting, because we have Slime Marble, that it's a renewing of a miniature that it was in the past released, and it was quite interesting because it was a sort of parody of Rambo with Sylvester Stallone. So it's quite interesting, and it's quite nice to see this miniature one. We have a new Lord Celestant. Sincerely, I don't find it quite good. The sword and the face I don't like too much. They're a bit too clumsy. I don't like them. But anyway, it's a new releasing, and it can be interesting because anyway, it's a new miniature to use as variant. So it's quite good that there is. Here then we can see instead this, that it's a new game released by Games Workshop, that it's about the Warhammer 40k. This is a deck that you buy and you split into different decks, one for the Space Marine and one for the Chaos Space Marine, the battle together. Sincerely, I don't find it quite interesting, but anyway, can be good for fast playing and so on, so it can be interesting in such a way. And then we have a bit of spot about Warhammer Live, that it's Warhammer played on Twitch, that it's interesting for the ones that want to see new releasing, new way to play, interview and events released by the Warhammer, so it's interesting this way. And here we see new miniatures about the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. Sincerely, these miniatures are not really bad, but anyway, are things that are interesting for the ones that to play these games. And here we have new releases again, but about Blood Bowl, with the releasing about the Elfin Echoes, that you can see as the releasing about elves, because it can be associated to that playing. With the releasing of the cards, with a new build to play. Anyway, I like and don't like, so I don't play Blood Bowl. The Minotaurs are anyway quite good, but anyway it's up to you to decide if they work, because I don't play the game itself. And here instead we can see about the Forged releasing about new models for the Red Scorpions. That is a chapter, a secondary chapter, that it's quite improved on Forged with the models, with the pets, with the personalization, so there are a lot of things. And here you have the releasing of a new Dreadnought, that it's a mix from a Dreadnought and a Contemptor, and new models to rule the chapter itself. Then we can see about video games. Here I like the images that there are, but you know that I don't play the video games about Warhammer. Anyway, I like the images. For these ones are third person game, usually the Blade, so you never see such a thing except for the special clips. So anyway, it's nice to see them, but anyway they are not exactly this site. Anyway, the images are quite good to see. And then we can see the new releases about the Black Library, with releases from both Warhammer 40k and Age of Sigmar, these ones. And if you are interested, I'm having some books about the Black Library, so if you want I can in the future releasing some review about the books that I have, and so having a sort of review of the books. It's up to you to decide if you are interested, so comment under here if you are interested about it, because it can be a new way to see the books. Obviously I can do such a thing only about the books that I have, not obviously the ones that I didn't read about. Anyway, if you are interested, I think that it's quite interesting way to have an add-in to this channel. Then we can see here about what are the communications about the readers and the team of the White Dwarf. And from here, and also in this case, also from the introduction of the White Dwarf itself, you can understand that the White Dwarf has been done many months before that it been released. For example, this one that has been exiting in December has been done in August. So you can see that there are quite a lot of time before that the articles have been written. Then we can continue and we can see here the part about the temporal distort. And here I admit that I don't like in this case this one, because they are trying to make see what are the chapter approach and the introduction new rules that have been done with the White Dwarf, forgetting what has been done for the books. Because for example the Chronicles, the chapter approach and so on before this one has been a lot, so it's a lot more than these things that are made represented. So I don't like in a lot of way this thing, but anyway this has been done. Sincerely, I think that it's a bit declining this temporal distort part of the White Dwarf, even if there are a lot of things that can be added and can be really interesting to see. Then we can see a bit of spot about the local store of Warhammer in general, and here we can see something that is really interesting for the ones that play Warhammer Quest. If before you've seen some cards, here you can find new rules for playing for the Warhammer Quest mass. As you can see, there are a lot of things that are inside, from the background to the new rules, and it's something that even if only for these ones, Warhammer Quest, for the players that play that, they can be really interesting. So I suggest you to buy, even if only for this, if you play this game, because it's quite interesting. I want to remember you that, as been said in this White Dwarf, in the next month there will be the releasing of new rules about it, and the cards that you find here will have a lot of meaning then. So I suggest you to buy if you're interested in this game. And here you can see obviously the boxes about the Warhammer Quest game that are being released, so it's interesting. And here we can see instead about the Golden Demon 2017, so we can see the models that has won some prize inside that, and we can see a lot of models that in this case are quite ordinary, even if these ones I like much more than the previous one, but anyway they are done quite good. But what I think that are quite interesting are these models. For example, this one, where you can find here and here in the shoulder pads and here, that are done by freehanding, so they are really nice. Maybe I don't like the mod itself because I don't like this type of modification, but anyway the painting it's awesome, so it's really something that make you wow when you see such images. And here also there is another one that is wonderful. I like moreover this part about the head, where you can see here the design that it's wonderful, really wonderful. In comparison, this one that is realized really quite good, really a bit of shame in comparison. It's done quite good because the modifications, the color is done really perfectly. But anyway, compared to these ones, it loses a bit of color anyway. And then we can see this diorama that is quite interesting, but I like more about the picture because I like the dioramas because I like to realize them. But anyway, I find this quite simple, and so I don't like it excessively, but I like the diorama itself. Moreover, the painting it's quite good. What I like more is this, where the situation is much more interesting because if more models used in this diorama, but anyway it's quite interesting. And this that it's a bit classical. I don't like this use of the pose to take the assassin, but anyway it's one of the few things that it can be done because so okay, but anyway it's quite interesting. And here we can see always about the Black Arrival, the releasing of the special release about the Imperial Guard. So for the ones that like this type of special releasing, they can be really interesting because there are a lot of things inside that can be interesting about. Remember that it's a special releasing, so the copies are few. And then we can start to see the battle reports that are inside. Remember that there are 4. This is about the hobby Lord of the Rings ones. I don't like these games. I like the miniatures of these games, but not the games itself. So I don't judge the quality of the game in here because I don't read it. Simply I bypass it. But anyway, it can be really interesting. And here instead we can see the battle report about Age of Sigmar with the armies of the ogres, because it's really in theme of ogres ones, and the one about the new overlords, so the new dwarves. And it's quite interesting. The players inside here are not so skilled, but anyway it's good to see, and anyway it's nice to see such games seen. So I admit that in the time the battle reports improved a lot, so I think that they are nice to see. And then there are the third of the battle report that it's about Necromunda. Here you can find a game where you can find some rules and so on, some way to play. And so for the ones that like Necromunda or want to know how to play before to buy Necromunda itself, can be really interesting to read and know if can be a suitable one for the ones that want to play it. So I think that in this case it's quite really interesting to see as battle report as a new game to be promoted, so it's quite interesting. And here we have the one about Warhammer 40k, where they battle the Eldar and the Dark Angels, but what I really don't like is the pushing of the pushing of Games Workshop about the power level use. Sincerely, I don't find it good because I don't like the power level use because much more options are useless. So you can have only some options made to modify the power level, but the options and so on are not considered. And I don't like it, and I prefer the points that characterize the army completely, so you have more control about the balancing of the army itself. Here you can see images about the battlefield and the battle report itself. And here we can see obviously some spot about the new release about the codex of the Blood Angels and the Dark Angels ones. With here you can see also the images about the new boxes that are being released especially for the Blood Angels and the Dark Angels about the Primaris Space Marine. Obviously with the release also of the shoulder pads and so on, you can decide if they are worth or not as the price. And here what is really interesting is the building the deck for the Shakespeare. Obviously for the ones that play other trading card games or so on, they are quite simple as approach. But anyway, for the ones that approach to the game itself, they can be really interesting article to read and have a sort of meaning or sort of showing what are the different options that you have building the deck. So it's interesting way these ones. Here what I can find it's the new rules for Space Hulk, and it's quite interesting because it add the rules for the Justin card to the rules about the Space Hulk with the points and with new rules, but also with new missions. So there are rules, missions, points. It's made more complete the approach to the Space Hulk 1. So it's not a game that has been abandoned, that it's been lost, but it's a game that Games Workshop continue to make improved. And here instead we can see some consideration about how to creating a league about Blood Bowl. So for the ones that are starting to play such a game, can be really interesting these ones. Sincerely, I'm curious to see the new miniatures about the Seraphons, because I'd like to play them. Here you can see, and here you can see the boxes about the Games Workshop itself released about the Blood Bowl. For the releasing in the future of Seraphon or Vampires, I think that maybe if they are nice I'll buy them, because I don't want to play the game, but I like the idea of the miniatures, so even only for collection I think that I'll buy them. And here we can instead see about the illumination, that are images in the case or related about Age of Sigmar that amplify a lot what are the images that you can have about the background of Age of Sigmar itself, and I think that they are quite useful to see, so they are nice to see these ones. And there are a lot of images, so I think that they are quite good to see. And here instead something that can be really interesting for the ones that want to start to make photos about their models, because there are a lot of suggestions. Maybe the article for the ones that are more skilled in this case are not so interesting, but anyway these are nice to see, because they are good and make improve quite a lot the way that people have in make photos and propose their model themselves. So they are quite good because they make suggestions for both the cameras and both the smartphone use in the images next to this. But anyway, you can yet see what are the different solutions that can have to different problems. You can see there are a lot of ways to improve the photos if you want. So even the analysis about the difference about the zoom and the macro, so there are quite a lot of things that can be really interesting, and the analysis about the smartphone can be interesting to some of the people. Anyway, it's quite good to see. And here we can instead see about the Armies on Parade 2017. This I think that it's quite good, moreover for this element that I find it wow, really interesting. And you can see that there are some good ideas about how to realize different bases and so on. These ones about the Elder, it's not something that I like because it's about the Elder, but anyway, it's, and the analysis about the smartphone can be interesting to some of the people. Anyway, it's quite good to see. And here we can instead see about the Armies on Parade 2017. This I think that it's quite good, moreover for this element that I find it wow, really interesting. And you can see that there are some good ideas about how to realize different bases and so on. This one's about the Elder. It's not something that I like because it's about the Elder, but anyway, it's released quite good. These ones, for example, I don't like too much. Moreover, because the basis of the models that are don't find them good, they're not so detailed, and the base itself, I find that it's quite common. But anyway, it's a nice way to see something basic and done quite good. So the difference from the first and the third showed here. For example, this can also improve the sense of themizing something. So if you have some models, you can realize both the basis for a certain theme, but also the element, the mechanics and so on for that theme itself. So they can be really interesting in this way, in the way that you have a suggestion how to realize certain models. And here the Blanchitsu. In this case, I think that even only this article worth all the cost of the White Dwarf, because the models that are represented here are awesome. I really like them. These ones, this rider, it's something really amazing. But what I prefer most is this model, that it's amazing, really wow. It's something that I really love. And so seeing them can be really a great inspiration about what model you can realize, because you don't have to realize this model specifically, but you have a sort of inspiration on modifying or realize your own models, and so having something really particular to show. It's really amazing in this case. And then we can see, for example, about realizing their own army. This ones that it's about the Chegorat's Revenge, that it's an army about the Harlequins. So you can see an entire army based on such models with the scheme of colors and so on, and it's realized by a player. So once one that it's not a Warhammer team, so it's not a White Dwarf team member, but it's a reader. So you can really see what you can realize with your own hands. Then you can have also opportunities to work with the game workshop. And then something about painting. Here it's interesting because here they propose how to realize the colors for both the Dark Angels and the Blood Angels. What is interesting is here that you can see the different approach of the colors, and are the same colors that I use for my models, even if I didn't read the guide itself before. And it's interesting also this part that it's about the black, how to realize it. It's a nice guide. It's not so big as the previous one for the November 2017, but it's really quite interesting. And then we can see some spot about the Warhammer World. Sincerely, I love this model. When I seen it in photo, I really loved it. I have some models about the Legio Custodes. I have yet to monetize, mounting and paint them, but having this, it will be really a great adding as the leader of them. I really like it. The problem is that you can have only buying in the Warhammer World, and it's unlucky because I don't like, but I not go surely to Warhammer World only to buy this miniature, but it's a miniature that I really like. And then we can see the readers models. So models realized by the readers and sent photo to the White Dwarf. You have really extreme, you have such models that are really nice to see, even if I don't like such extreme, but it's really nice to see. I prefer such model that it's more detailed, more clean and so on, but this is really quite detailed, so I really like these such models. But you can see also this one, so there are a lot of high quality in readers that send the photos, because they are really quite a great, amazing quality. Also here, for example, you can see really a wonderful model realized, maybe a bit excessive, but really nice. And then we can see what they will be done in the White Dwarf team in the book and so on about the next White Dwarf itself. And you can see also that they are trying something, because for example these ones are not finished models, so for sure this will not be seen in the white dwarfs because they are not finished. The base, the mod itself are not finished to color, but anyway they can be interesting to see. And then we can hand this white dwarf with these blood angels that are say hello, with this primary space marine that is the new model release. Sincerely, I don't like it because it's too expensive for me for the cost that it has, but anyway it's really interesting as way. And then we can finish this review about the white dwarf itself. I hope that you liked. I think that this white dwarf is quite interesting. Anyway, I invite you to put a like on this video, to share this video with others can be interested in this video or in some part of this video itself. I invite you to comment under here if you're interested in having some more information about this white dwarf or anyway other videos that you want to propose me to realize. I invite you to subscribe to this channel and to ring the bell to receive notifications about the releasing about new videos from this channel, because they will be exiting almost all the Fridays, but anyway it's better to have notification about them. From deynonmod it's everything, so I invite you to watch also the other videos about the channel. To the next time!